Hello and welcome back to Algebra. Yes, we are going to start our talk about 2.3 for about 15 minutes or so. And then we will do a lot more problems next class. Now, 2.3 is going to be all about your favorite word problems. Now, everything in life is word problems. When you are trying to figure anything out, right, you use words to express yourselves, and then you are solving that problem. And even if there are numbers, maybe you will subconsciously do that. Here is the simple word problem. I have 5 friends and we want to go, hiking. Well, we have to take 2 cars, right? Because we can't fit 6 people in 1 car. Unless we put 1 or 2 in the trunk, obviously. But it was a word problem. I said, I have 5 friends and we want to go hiking. I have 5 friends. That means 5 plus 1 is 6 people. You can cram 5 people in a car, right? 2 in front and 3 in the back. And you usually have that many seat belts as well, right? 3 in the back and 2 for each seat in front. So having a 6th person immediately prompts us to have another car. And you know what? We'll be more comfortable, right? If we have 3 people per car. So see, this word problem continues, where I had the problem of transporting myself and friends to a place where we were going to hike. And then I solved that problem by proposing that we take 2 cars and splitting the number of people equally between 2 cars. Now, a lot of people would say that what I just talked about is, common sense life skill. This is something that, right? It was a math problem. It was the math word problem, which you instantaneously solved in your head without having any equations, any crazy calculations, using the calculator. And that's where mathematics starts, right? With those simple everyday, let me see what this looks like. I have bills, money coming in from paychecks is plus balance. Bills going out would be minus the balance. And then the leftover is the money that I have left, or if that value is negative, that's the money that I still need to make up to make the ends meet at the end of the month. People who think and budget their finances, they always have money. Because remember what we said, what's the way to be rich? What is the definition of rich? Nope. Wealth has nothing to do because people go bankrupt because they don't know what to do with it. You have a lot of people that were into sports and singing and so on and made millions, and then it's just gone. They waste it all and so on. There is only one way to be rich. And what's that way? Does anyone know? Which way you become rich? See? Real questions. I asked once, someone answered, if you have $10 million, you're rich. I was like, no, you're not. You're not rich with $10 million. Because if your expenses are $11 million, you owe $1 million, so you are in much worse situation than someone who owes $100 if you owe $1 million, right? It doesn't matter the scale. It doesn't matter the scale of how much money you have, right? There is only one thing that you need to do, and that is spend less than you earn. That's all it is. It's all there, and that's budgeting, and that's math, and that's word problems. So your paycheck is going to be some number, and then you are going to subtract the bills, and you're going to see. And if the bills go over the budget, then yeah, we have percents, right, that to deal with. So we'll deal with a lot of cool things here. Let's learn some words. So the art of translating words into mathematical expressions so you can compute. When I say you will receive a paycheck, in your head you know that's money coming to you. That's a positive value. And when I say a bill, that's money going out of your pocket to someone else. Well, that's a negative. So you know you're supposed to subtract. So if your checking account has $3,000 and you need to pay $2,867 in bills, so this is pay and this is bills, what do you get? 3, 3, 1. This is the leftover. So you paid all of your bills and you have $133 left. In this case, I would say rich, right? Because you spend less than you earn. The amount up there is your rent and your car and your gas and your food and, you know, technically everything that you spend in a month, and you have $133 left over. That means that you're spending less than you're making. That doesn't mean that you have $133 to go and spend on that night immediately. It's just, you know, people invest and do things. I mean, rich people constantly flip their money because, you know, that's what they do. So let's take a look at these words, and then the next class we are going to go into the word problems that have money and have percent and have a whole bunch of stuff that would actually make a lot of sense in our daily lives. So for addition, we have words as add, plus, more, sum, total, increase. All of these words mean addition. So if I said that all of my checks total $3,000, that means that I have multiple checks, and when I added those values, worked out to be $3,000. So total of all of my checks, the sum of all of my checks, right? Or I can say my bank account this month increased $3,000. Well, that means that I deposited $3,000 in it, and now I have the minus sign, which would be the decrease, which is when I pay my bills. So subtract, minus, less, difference, fewer, decrease. All of these words mean subtraction, right? So if I have 5 apples fewer than you, then your apples minus my apples is equal to 5. And there's that minus in between where we subtract the number of apples from each person to get the difference of 5. Multiplication has multiply, has times, has product. Now you will also say twice, double, triple, quadruple, and so on. That all means times 2, times 3, times. So I would not add them to this list because they're very specific. But you also have those. Then we have division, which is divide, divided by, and then quotient. And the word per is there as well. And then finally equals. Is, gives, results in, is the same as, there's also word equivalent and so on. If you learn these words, you will find that transforming the word problems into mathematical expression becomes much easier. And once you have that equation, you can compute a lot of cool things. Now, that's all in the next class. The last example for today is to translate one of the sentences they have in the book using these words into mathematical equation, and then solve that mathematical equation so that we have the problem. Now, again, this is not particularly applied to anything. This is just to practice the words from the list. Our next class, which is on Tuesday, we are going to do the problems that actually make sense. So, let's see. Twice a number plus 7 equals 9. Twice a number plus 7 equals 9. Looking at this problem, I have twice a number. And what would you write for this? What do you think we should write for twice a number? Beautiful, 2x. We don't know what the number is. It's a variable. So we're just going to write 2x. And then we have, the rest is easy because we see that it's plus 7 equals 9. And this is the equation which we practiced in 2.2, where we subtract 7 on both sides. And then finally divide both sides to give us x equals 1. And we are able to figure out that the unknown number in that text up there was x equals to 1. Not that anyone cares, but we are still able to compute that. I'm going to leave it here. The 2.3 homework will open for those who want to go ahead on their own and practice and learn ahead of class, which is fine. But that deadline will extend later when we learn the section actually on Tuesday. See you all on Tuesday, huh? Sure.